Hey guys, let's go over those questions from the end of the video on functions. Number 1. Solve f of g of 3 when g of x is equal to x plus 2 and f of x is equal to x squared. So what we need to do first is solve for g of 3. So here we know g of x is equal to x plus 2, so all we need to do is substitute 3 in for x, which means we get 5. So g of 3 gets us 5. Now we know that that's 5, that means we can plug 5 in for the f of x. So over here we have f of 5, which means we get 5 squared, which is equal to 25. Number 2, which best represents f of x equals x squared plus 2x plus 3? So knowing that this goes in this form, a of x squared plus bx plus c, we know that since it's a quadratic, it'll be a parabola, which all of these choices are. We know that since the a value here in front of the squared term is 1, a positive number, we can eliminate the downward facing parabolas. We know that when a is positive, it has to be upward facing or in a U shape. Next, we know that the c term tells us where the y-intercept is, and here it's 3. Here the parabola seems to intersect at -3, and here it intersects at 3. So it can't be this, and it has to be this last choice here. Number 3, what is the equation of the graph below if it is reflected across the x-axis and then the y-axis? We know that the equation for this parabola is f of x is equal to x squared plus 6x plus 12. So knowing that, we know that to reflect a graph across the x-axis, we generally put a negative outside the function, which means that to reflect across the x-axis, all we need to do is set a negative on the outside here, which means that we get negative x squared minus 6x minus 12. That'll give us a parabola reflected across the x-axis. Next, if we want to reflect across the y-axis from x squared plus 6x plus 12, we know that the negative has to go inside the parentheses for the x terms. That means we'll have negative x squared minus 6x plus 12. And that will flip the parabola over across the y-axis. Number 4, what is the equation of the translated graph? Here we start with f of x is equal to x squared, parabola here with a point at 0, 0, or vertex point at 0, 0. The translated graph has a vertex of 4, 2, which means that we need to take this graph and move it 4 over to the right and 2 up. So if you recall, moving a graph vertically just means that we need to add or subtract to the original function. And here in this case, since we're moving up 2, we just need to plus 2. So that would give us a parabola up here at y2. Now to move the graph over to the right, what we need to do is subtract from the x term. And we know that we're moving 4 units over. So we subtract 4 from x, and that replaces the squared term in the original function. And we have to remember the plus 2 to move it vertically. And we get f of x is equal to x minus 4 squared plus 2, which simplifies to x squared minus 8x plus 16 plus 2. And that simplifies down to x squared minus 8x plus 18. And that gives us the equation of this parabola here, moved 4 units to the right and 2 vertically. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this video. Like always, feel free to leave any questions and comments below, and give the video a like and subscribe if you found it helpful.